Good day and great light illuminators. Thanks for hanging out with me for a couple of minutes. Oh boy, I am just so eager to get outside and work. So to get cleaned up, get the garden going, start cleaning up, the debris in the garden and making ready for new and deciding what I want to plant where and and exploring all of my limitations as well. And what serves me, what doesn't, and all of those things. So, yeah, I have so many things I want to do, and it seems like there's just never enough days or energy to do all of the exciting things that I envision. So my guides have reminded me one thing at a time. Just do one thing and then move on to the next thing. It sounds really simple, but we complicate it. So I wasn't sure where I wanted to start, so this is where I'm starting for the moment. I'm going to get rid of the leaves and push away the leaves and start picking up and cleaning up and finding my gloves and just start one thing at a time, one flower pot at a time, one plant at a time. They're like, no insistence. Just do the next thing that comes to you. We will guide you. We will help you. The earth guides us. It helps us. It navigates with us. Our higher mind, all of it. It tells you where to start. So, thanks for being with me as I take one of my next steps and once again exploring my own mastery of limitation and the mastery of my own integration. So thanks for coming along for the ride. And this is actually the perfect time of year. It's not even February yet, and this is the perfect time here because there's a very small window before, all the insects come out and just where it just gets too warm too early. And so it's really good to start early in the year, early in the day. And I can hear the frogs. It's like I feel spring. So I'm getting that urge, to get out and get things cleaned up and see what shows up and see what new wildflowers pop up this year, what new perennials pop up this year, and what doesn't. And that's part of the surprise of it all. So changing things up, doing things differently, and you don't have to know ahead of time necessarily the details. The details will fill themselves in as each step you take. And yes, I know as a gardener too, yes, there's this general idea of preparation, but I know I will be led there to do exactly what the priorities are and in what order and in a perfect balance. Let me just say, in a perfect balance. And that's because that's really what I want. To be able to do it and feel good and strong. And do it in a balanced way. That I can do that every day. Doing it in a balanced, strong way. I feel kind of like this is so big for me sometimes that it's just too much, and and I have a lot of high expectations of myself too. But I also feel like the ability to respond, the responsibility as the what was the word I was using the other day? The protector of the property, the word's escaping me now. Escaping me. I'll think of it. Custodians? Yeah, I think that was the word I used. The custodians of this sacred space, and to do the best with it that I can, that I physically can. So here we go. And I really want to do more card readings out here too. It's so beautiful. I have all these spaces, so that's another excitement of mine, is finding places to sit and do videos, do oracle readings, and just bring through whatever energies come through, whatever messages come through, and creating more spaces outside to be able to do that. And I'm really, really excited about that. That's wherever I've lived in all these years of doing videos, that's one of been my highest excitements, has been how can I be outside and bring that through, and all of the things that I feel and and smell and taste and touch, and the energies and the light codes and the just the beings and all the hybrid children. Oh my gosh, they've been so coming to me today with all kinds of questions. And the question that over and over as we go through conversations is, why? And then and then the next question, and then I explain it, and then they say why. And it has really been an in-depth opening for me. So that's part of what being out in nature helps us all do, is be our own guide, listen to our guides. And it's always fun to do the card readings and do our own card readings and see the synchronicities, the confirmations. So yes, I'm excited to get out and do some card readings out in the just out in the forest and wherever I can find to sit. And so that's another thing, before all the insects come out. Oh, I had to grab some tools. I'm already getting hot. It's not even that warm out here today. Well, it's already in the 50s Fahrenheit, but that warm sun, it's amazing. Oh my God, note to self. Dollar store gloves. Okay. Yeah, they're leather, but let me just say, these things are sewn so weird. There's this like weird thing here, and it is just like, ow, ow, ow. I can't even wear them. And it's all twisted and stuff, so yeah. Not everything is always such a great deal, guys. Gotta watch that dollar store stuff. So yeah, still working. And as always, meditating, thinking about, God, all kinds of things, when we're out in nature working. And one of the things that I was thinking about is how we define ourselves. How we feel the need to not only define ourselves, but define ourselves to other people. Like when someone says, well, what do you do? Or who are you? We're not defined, and I know many people have talked about this, but we're not defined by what we do. I mean, yes, I've, for example, I can say, well, I'm a mom and I'm this and I'm that. That's still not who we are. Even as I'm doing all this, I'm thinking, who am I? How would I define myself? I was someone who always loved being in nature and gardening and planting, and even if I wasn't good at it. So and that's kind of the point, was I can't define myself as a gardener, because anybody who is a true gardener might actually beg to differ if they're an expert in gardening, and maybe that makes them a gardener, yet even the gardener is so many other things. So I was thinking about how even when in the spiritual world, people will ask me, well, what do you do? Who do you channel? What do you channel? So does, how do I define myself? I was the same person, and then woke up and started having a spiritual awakening, started speaking light languages, started writing symbols, got really interested in Oracle. I had a dream in 2008 that said that I was there. I remember the dream so vividly, and they said, and you are part of the Oracle of Delphi. You are an oracle. And that was before I like even found anything to do with like channeling and light language, and yet there was people in my family that were channels, and psychic, if you will. And I don't even like to label myself as psychic, although I get all kinds of things before they happen, if that's how you want to look at it. But so how do I define myself, or by what I do? I love humanity. I love showing, I love expressing how I believe that everything in all of creation is connected, how the law of one, that what you do only needs to affect one person, or serve one person. Serving thyself and is also serving another person by reflection. But what does that make me? A channel, a light language linguist, an oracle, a psychic, an ET communicator, I hear all these things in my head: prime facilitator, first contact specialist, and but that even feels so small and limiting compared to what we really are. And I guess I've been feeling too, like, that, jack of all trades, like, kind of good at everything, but an expert at nothing kind of a thing. But yet that's all that, I guess I can't say, do I have an expertise in something? It comes easy to me. Connecting with these other beings and information comes easy to me. Speaking in these languages comes very easy to me. But does that define who I am and what I am? I don't think so. I would like to think not, actually. I'd like to think that we are all more than what others or what we define ourselves to be. And actually, I don't even know how to answer that question. So, really, sometimes it's like, well, these are the things that I do, and these are the things that I love. But is that what I am? And again, these are questions that, as we become more in tune with ourselves, our higher selves, our higher mind, our guides around us, we begin to see some of the absurdity of the things that we believe about ourself, about existence, about other people, and how we just don't know. It's just we don't know what we don't know. We just don't know what we don't know. That's all. And so I don't know. Maybe for someone, about, maybe you're wanting clarity on how to define yourself, or maybe you're looking to do spiritual work or healing work or oracle readings, and don't know how to define yourself, and I don't have an answer, except that I'm love, that I feel like this is I'm just a person who's having a spiritual awakening and wanting to share all of the components of all of that, whether it's relationships or, where we live, where we move, how we interact with our world, how we interact with each other, how, what do you walk away with after these messages? And I even remember, like, I sit and think about, after the readings, I think about the cards themselves and what did they have to tell me, and I keep thinking about the cards from yesterday even, that fire spirit, and even free spirit. That's funny because that's just part of one of our channels, is about being free spirits. And anyway, so that kind of came out. But the strength, the wisdom, being a leader, And maybe being a leader is a good definition because it encompasses a lot of things. Being teachers encompasses a lot of things, but we're all teachers, and we're all leaders of something. We're all leaders of something. We're leading ourselves, primarily leading ourselves. So, not sure where else I was going to go with that. Just one of those, we're just receivers and perceivers, and our higher mind is the conceiver. The higher mind conceives of all these thoughts, and then we receive them, we perceive them, and as you know, the Council of Nine, and here they are again here, the Council of Nine, how we perceive it and how we choose to act from that perception and how we learn and grow. That's what this year is all about. So, are you trying to define yourself and I'm reminded too, we're the masters of limitation. Going beyond, we're being asked to go beyond these limiting belief systems and limiting definitions of ourselves. Okay, so I've been raking, and I got quite a bit done so far, but I'm going to keep going. And so I'm going to put the phone down because my arm's tired. So yeah, got a lot of onesie things done today, so that's very exciting. So thanks for once again in this now moment hanging out with me. Well, I think I'm going to mulch all this up and use it back in the garden. I love working outside. It makes my body feel so good. It's like I gain strength from gain strength from the earth, and God, it just feels so wonderful to get out and use my muscles, and I know it's not for everybody, and if it is and you can't, I know I lived in apartments all my life, I've mentioned before, but if you're new, and I dreamt of having, homes and as rural places as I could find, and I really managed to manifest that to the best I believed at the time, of course, but just to be surrounded by all of this, and by no means am I any kind of a I'm kind of the, what is it, the wishful gardener, where you plant the seeds and hope and wish that they come up. But I read a lot. I have a lot of gardening books. I've been really practicing gardening for a long time, but it feels like it just gives me strength. Except for now when I go to put the phone down. So, thanks for hanging out with me and gardening with me today. Yeah, it feels really, really good. I think I'm going to go around the front and see what else I can do. And got a lot of leaves around here, as you can imagine. We have a lot of leaves around here that accumulate. So, oh, but that's what I was going to say. Dave's got this like cool vacuum. It's like a leaf vacuum, and then it mulches up all the leaves, and then enables me to use it for mulch, and put it back in the garden. But yeah, and I was thinking too, for those of you who do live in apartments and maybe you can't garden and you want to, I know that more and more community gardens are coming up. Maybe you could even work part-time in the garden center. I don't know where that came from. And obviously having any plant, anything at all, especially something you can eat, it's really gratifying. And we've had even in this bed right here and in the green stalks, and we've had a lot of trials and errors. The soil here is really bad, and then one year we've just got bags and bags and bags of bad potting soil, and it killed everything. So that year, it just absolutely wiped out everything. No matter what I planted in what pot, what I used with that soil, it killed everything. So that was kind of devastating. And then also having to recoup the garden. And so now we're working on that. And what do we want to do where? And we've only been here a little over 3 years now. So each year has been trial and error, like everywhere. But, learning the soil, learning what it tolerates, learning the weather, the humidity, when to start things, up north, I grew up along the shore of Lake Michigan, all the way in the northern east corner, right on the border, pretty much on the Wisconsin border there. And although it was quite, rural and had a lot of trees, but there wasn't a lot of time for gardening, only a couple months out of the year. So, so this has been an extraordinary experience. And Dave, say hi, Dave. No. Dave's walking away with the chainsaw. So we're doing some yard cleanup, and it makes me feel good to take care of what we have, of what I have. And if this is something you've always been dreaming of, then know that one of the reasons you're here at this video is because this is part of your dream. And it doesn't mean you need to be an expert in anything. I'm just learning, one little thing at a time, and taking all the experience that I've had all these years and our pretend past that we're making up right now. And you can manifest that too. And I know someone close to me who actually works in a law firm, very busy law firm, and not in a big city or anything like that. It's actually in a small town, but they're very busy because they're like one of the only law firms in town, and so it's a very busy office. But he gets more enjoyment being outside and working, helping out on a nearby farm, than he does working in the office anymore. And he's been doing it for a long time now, couple of decades. But yeah, he's like tired of the hustle and the bustle of the office, and he would much rather, as soon as possible, actually. And he's in his mid-40s, and as soon as possible, he wants to be, I'd rather be working outside, caretaking the place. And he gets to do a variety of things on the farm, but it's also a very nice place, and it's got an Airbnb, and so anyway, he really enjoys working outside, and never would have thought that, he always was more of a, an inside kind of office person, and didn't really like, dirt and heat and cold and all of that. But now it's his preference. So even if it's just for a little bit and something that you want to do, find a way. You'll find a way. And that's part of the excitement of following your highest joy, is that once you get excited about something, you know, all of the possibilities will become evident. And is everything the way I want it to be and perfect? No. And it takes years and years to develop that, you know. And we have to be, again, patient and understanding with the cycles of the cycles of the garden, the cycles of plants, and how it teaches us, boy, the things it teaches us. So thanks, teachers of teachers. Mwah. Get outside whenever you can. Yellow unto shukie samila inaya lazi inte elizamotove imoro maate alaki dutashono so ojo nia inania takeli sana shoto sita kitiana sabashianina alaliana okoto koshana izanati osmali eliananiata ajanati iti sana. And I didn't forget about pulling some oracle cards, so that's still it's still on my goal today, or I should say on my wish list today. Love you.